The Apple Cup is one of college football's oldest and most passionate rivalries, a tradition that has woven itself into the very fabric of Washington state. Every year, anticipation builds as fans from both sides prepare for a showdown that is about far more than just football. It's a contest that stirs memories, ignites old friendships, and sometimes even sparks new ones, as generations gather to witness history in the making. The game pits the University of Washington Huskies against the Washington State Cougars, two teams whose rivalry stretches back over a century. Each fall, these teams take the field not just to win, but to represent their schools, their cities, and their loyal fans. It's more than a game. It's about pride, tradition, and a year's worth of bragging rights. For many, the Apple Cup is a family affair, with parents passing down stories of legendary games and unforgettable plays to their children. The energy in the stadium is electric, with every play met by roars of approval or groans of disappointment. The pageantry is unmistakable. Marching bands fill the air with fight songs, cheerleaders rally the crowd, and students paint their faces in bold team colors. The entire week leading up to the game is filled with pep rallies, parades, and spirited debates about which team will come out on top. The Apple Cup trophy, a symbol of gridiron supremacy in Washington, has been fiercely contested for over a century. Hoisting the trophy is a moment of pure elation, a reward for months of hard work and a year's worth of bragging rights. The rivalry began in 1900 and has delivered unforgettable moments, stunning upsets, and dominant performances. From snow-covered fields to last-second touchdowns, the Apple Cup has seen it all. Each game adds a new chapter to a story that spans generations. Over the decades, the Apple Cup has been chronicled in newspapers, broadcast over the radio, and now streamed to fans around the world. It's a tradition that has adapted with the times, but never lost its heart. The name Apple Cup was adopted in 1962, honoring Washington's apple-growing heritage. The apple is more than just a crop here. It's a symbol of the state's identity, and the perfect emblem for a rivalry that is as deeply rooted as the orchards themselves. The game divides families and communities, with alumni and fans rallying in purple and gold or crimson and gray. In living rooms and local bars, in small towns and big cities, the Apple Cup is a shared experience that brings people together, even as it sets them apart for one unforgettable day. For many, the rivalry starts young. Kids grow up choosing sides, learning the history, and dreaming of one day playing in the big game. Tailgates become family reunions, and friendly banter turns into lifelong memories. The Huskies lead the all-time series, but in this rivalry, records rarely matter. Anything can happen. Underdogs have triumphed, favorites have fallen, and every game is a fresh opportunity for glory. The Apple Cup is a cultural event that unites and divides the state, making every meeting a must-watch. It's a celebration of sport, community, and the enduring spirit of competition. A reminder that, in Washington, the Apple Cup is truly more than just a game. The 117th Apple Cup marks a new era, now a non-conference game after Washington's move to the Big Ten. Both schools signed a 5-year deal to keep the tradition alive, ensuring the rivalry endures. This year, the game returns to the Palouse at Gesa Field, restoring the electric campus atmosphere. The earlier September date makes the Apple Cup an early season test, not a season finale. Washington faces a final tune-up before a national showdown. Washington State seeks to defend home turf and prove its resilience. The rivalry's circumstances have changed, but the passion and stakes remain as high as ever. The Huskies enter the Apple Cup undefeated under coach Jedd Fisch, showing flashes of high-powered offense and discipline. A bye week gave them extra time to prepare for their biggest rival. Early wins have built confidence, but Fisch is still seeking his first Apple Cup victory. With Ohio State looming, focus is critical. Overlooking the Cougars would be a costly mistake. For Washington's players, especially in-state recruits, this game is personal. They're not just playing for a perfect record. They want revenge after last year's loss. The Huskies' motivation and leadership make them a formidable opponent. Washington State, led by first-year coach Jimmy Rogers, enters the Apple Cup 2-1 and eager to bounce back from a humbling loss. Early wins built confidence, but a blowout defeat to North Texas tested the team's resolve. The Apple Cup offers a chance for redemption and a statement win for Rogers. A victory would energize the fan base and validate the program's direction. Playing at home, the Cougars will feed off the crowd's energy, making them a dangerous underdog. They're determined to prove they're better than their last result. Last year's Apple Cup delivered one of the most memorable upsets in recent college football history, as Washington State stunned the heavily favored Huskies 24-19 at Lumen Field. The Cougars, who had been written off by many analysts and fans after a rocky season, found a way to rise above the noise and deliver a performance that will be talked about for years to come. The energy in the stadium was electric, with every play building toward a dramatic finish that left the crowd in disbelief. For Washington State, the upset was more than just a win. It was a cathartic moment that capped a turbulent year, snapped a painful losing streak, and gave their fans a reason to believe again. Players and coaches embraced on the field, tears of joy mixing with shouts of triumph as the Cougars finally reclaimed the Apple Cup trophy. The victory was a testament to their resilience, teamwork, and refusal to back down, no matter the odds. For the Huskies, the loss was a bitter pill to swallow. As the favorites playing on their home turf, expectations were sky high, and the defeat stung deeply. Players walked off the field in disbelief, heads hung low, while fans in the stands struggled to process what had just happened. The pain of that night lingered long after the final whistle, casting a shadow over the off-season and fueling a burning desire for redemption. That memory has become a driving force for the Huskies throughout the off-season. Every practice, every meeting, and every workout has been colored by the sting of last year's defeat. Coaches have pushed the team harder, demanding focus and intensity, while players have channeled their frustration into motivation. The loss has set the tone for the entire year, uniting the team around a single goal: to reclaim the Apple Cup and restore their pride. As the rematch approaches, the stakes could not be higher. Washington is determined to seek revenge and bring the trophy back to Seattle, while Washington State is eager to prove that last year's victory was no fluke. Both teams know that this game is about more than just bragging rights. It's about legacy, pride, and the chance to write a new chapter in one of college football's most storied rivalries. The dynamic of revenge versus validation adds a new layer of drama to this year's clash. Every snap, every tackle, and every touchdown will be magnified by the weight of last year's result. Fans from both sides are counting down the days, eager to see which team will rise to the occasion and seize the moment. Both teams are driven by the memory of last year's outcome. In the locker rooms, coaches deliver impassioned speeches, reminding their players of what's at stake. On the sidelines, you can see the determination in every face, the hunger to prove themselves and make history. The stage is set, the stakes are higher than ever, and the Apple Cup promises to deliver another unforgettable chapter in this fierce rivalry. For Washington, an undefeated season and momentum before facing Ohio State are at stake. A loss would derail their confidence and take the shine off their next big game. For Washington State, the Apple Cup is a shot at redemption after a tough loss and a chance to define their season. A win would be a signature moment for Coach Rogers and the program. The Apple Cup trophy and a year of bragging rights are on the line. For seniors and fans, this game is everything. The motivations on both sides guarantee a fierce, hard-fought battle. The 117th Apple Cup kicks off Saturday, September 20th, 2025, at 4:30 p.m. Pacific at Gesa Field in Pullman. Expect a sellout crowd and an electric atmosphere as the Cougars host the Huskies. The game will air nationally on CBS, with Rich Waltz, Logan Ryan, and Tiffany Blackman on the call. Radio coverage is available for both fan bases, with streaming options through official team apps. Whether you're watching, listening, or in the stands, there are plenty of ways to follow the action. The extensive coverage ensures no one misses this storied rivalry. Don't miss the battle for the Apple Cup trophy. This year, Washington State debuts beer and wine sales to the public at Gesa Field, modernizing the fan experience. The Apple Cup is the first game with this new policy, aiming to boost atmosphere and revenue. Safety and responsible consumption are priorities, ensuring a family-friendly environment. The change could make the crowd even louder and more energetic, giving the Cougars a bigger home field edge. Fans will be part of a new chapter in WSU athletics, adding to the day's significance. The 2025 Apple Cup is a pivotal moment for both the rivalry and the fan experience. Predicting the Apple Cup winner is never easy. This storied rivalry between Washington and Washington State is always filled with drama, emotion, and unpredictable moments. Yet this year, Washington enters as the clear favorite, a team that has dominated all season long, showing both skill and determination at every turn. The Huskies are undefeated, well-rested, and hungry for revenge after last year's shocking upset. Their season has been a showcase of resilience, with each victory building their confidence and sharpening their focus. They've overcome tough opponents, navigated high-pressure moments, and now stand on the brink of a perfect regular season. Much of their success can be credited to Coach Fish's meticulous preparation and the Huskies' relentless motivation. Every practice, every meeting, and every play has been geared toward this moment. The coaching staff has instilled a sense of purpose and unity, making the team more formidable than ever. But Washington State isn't backing down. Despite reeling from a tough loss, the Cougars are determined to defend their home turf. Their passionate fans will pack the stadium, creating an electric atmosphere that could rattle even the most seasoned players. Embracing the underdog role, the Cougars are ready to fight for every yard and every point. For first-year Coach Rogers, this is more than just a game. It's a chance to make his mark and deliver a program-defining win. He's rallied his players, emphasizing grit, heart, and the importance of seizing the moment. A victory here would be a statement, not just for this season, but for the future of Washington State football. Still, the Huskies' depth of talent, laser-sharp focus, and burning desire to avenge last year's defeat give them a significant edge. Their players are locked in, ready to execute the game plan and prove that last year's loss was just a fluke. The team's leaders have set the tone, demanding excellence from every teammate. Expect Washington to come out strong, playing disciplined football from the opening whistle. They'll look to build an early lead, control the tempo, and keep the pressure on the Cougars. With their eyes on the trophy, the Huskies are determined to reclaim their place at the top. The Cougars, however, won't go down without a fight. Their defense will battle for every stop, and their offense will look for big plays to ignite the crowd. But in the end, Washington's consistency, discipline, and championship mindset are likely to be the difference. The stage is set for an epic clash, but the Huskies appear poised to win the 117th Apple Cup and head into their showdown with Ohio State undefeated. Their dreams of a perfect season still alive.